Hi Stampers, I'm Vicki Sewell, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm so happy to be here today to invite you to my free coffee and a card class. I'd love it if you'd like and follow my business page on Facebook at StampinChat30 or email me at stampinChat30@gmail.com. My April host code is 2JP2AHEG. You can use my handy Shop Now button at the top of this page, and for every $35 of Stampin' Up! Products before tax and shipping that you order from me, entering this host code as you check out, you'll get a chance in a prize drawing that I'll have at the end of April for a Touch of Ink stamp set. Here's the Touch of Ink stamp set. It is a beautiful two-step stamp set. There's the outlines and then the color stamps, or you can, the butterfly is especially beautiful. You can color it different ways. It just makes lovely cards. And that's when I just colored the butterfly one color. You can use your sponging or your blender brushes and color that butterfly all kinds of colors. But this was made just using the stamps. It's a really great set. I think you'll enjoy it. So if you missed that cute set during celebration, you'll get another opportunity. But you must enter that host code as you're checking out, though, to be eligible. And if you'd like the new Stampin' Up! Catalog that comes out in May, please email me at stampinChat30@gmail.com. Today I'm going to show you how to make some quick and easy beach cards. They're great for beach lovers in your life using the Stamparatus and Stampin' Up's new blending brushes. So here's one that we're going to make today, and I'll show you how I made this line here by using some washi tape. So I'll demonstrate that, but these make really quick and easy cards, and they're fun to do. Great birthday card. There are two sets that are retiring on May 3rd in the annual catalog, the 2020 to 2021 catalog. One of them is Seaside Notions. It's one of my favorites because I love seashells and this cute little seahorse. So here's a really nice card made with that. It has nice sentiments, thinking of you with gratitude, happy birthday. Love the font on these. And just endless variety of things you can do with these cute little seashells and the seahorse. So I will really miss that set. If you like it, you need to get busy and order it because it will be gone after May 3rd. The other stamp set that's retiring, and that's the one that I'm going to feature today, is called Seaside View. It has lots of coloring opportunities. It has a whole scene here that you can color, and Stampin' Up! Has some beautiful pencil sets. This is one of the sets that has all the bright colors. It would be great to color this with. You can use them just as they are, or you can use some water painters and make it a really subtle. Markers in these colors, so you can get just oodles of colors in their watercolor pencils. So let's get started on this card. The first thing I want to show you is the Stamparatus. The Stamparatus makes it really easy. This is a large stamp set, a large stamp right here. And I don't know if you've ever had problems. Sometimes I have problems where one part doesn't stamp quite as dark as I'd like for it to. And the Stamparatus solves that problem because you can stamp down like this. You apply your stamp to one of these levers here, and plastic plates. And then if it doesn't stamp as well as you like, all you do is ink it up again and stamp back down again. It'll stamp in exactly the same place. It's great if you're making a lot of cards, and it's great if you're sometimes putting a greeting on a card, or you're using a large stamp set. That also has 2 plates, so that if you had 2 designs on the same card, you could stamp this design, and then you could come back and stamp a greeting. So this is great too for holiday cards. I really, really love it for holiday cards. Okay, so the first card I'm going to make, I cut out a square, a rectangle, using the stitched rectangles. So I found a size that would fit with this stamp, and I cut that out. Now the Stamparatus comes with magnets, and magnets do the magnet thing. They stick to everything, so you have to be kind of careful with it. It's a very strong magnet. So I'm just going to put my paper there. I've lined it up, and I'm going to stamp our beach scene. You do have to put a little something under this plate to get a better stamping surface. Sometimes I put a block under there. I've just put some of the seal under there today. So I've stamped that up, and you just pull it over, press it down, and we'll see what it looks like. Yeah, it's a little light right there in the middle, and a little light over here. Not to worry. I will just go stamp that up again, ink it up again, and we will just go over that again. Kind of press down and hold, rub over it if you like. There we go, much better. I could even do it a 3rd time if I wanted to, or a 4th time, but I think that looks good, and we'll go with that. I'm just going to wipe my stamp off so I don't get ink on me using the Simply Chamois. I cut mine up into smaller pieces. It comes in a large, probably 8x6 piece, something along those lines. But and it just gets inky, but that's okay. It doesn't rub off on your fingers. I have some ink there from earlier this morning, but it doesn't rub off on your fingers. So that's just a quick way to clean your stamps. Handy for that. Now, we're ready to color this, and I'm going to use the Stampin' Up's new blending brushes. Let me get the lid back on this Memento ink. All right. And I'm going to start with some Pacific. No, I don't want to start with the Pacific. I'm going to start with some Pool Party. Pacific's a little too dark to start with. On the blending brushes, they come in sets of 3, and you don't have to have a blending brush for each separate color. I do kind of have a blending brush for different families. Like this is my brush for blue, and I can use it with any blue color. And you can see right now it doesn't have, even though it looks like it has a lot on it, there's nothing rubbing off there. But the best way to use it is just kind of tap on your ink pad. And you always want to start off the page because it might start with a big blob. If you don't want a big blob on your paper, you want to kind of start off and then rub on. So I'm going to kind of color the top. This is just relaxing. It's a lot of fun to do. Just some circular motions. And this is just a quick way to color, add color. There's always the watercolor pencils or the blender pens, but if you don't want to do detailed work and you just want a quick card, you can just grab these blending brushes and go to town. Get that corner a little bit better. So the color I used there was Pool Party. Next, I'm going to use some Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to put some Pear Pizzazz on these green, a little bit of green there on the trees. So I'll get my blender brush that's dedicated to greens. Just kind of tap it on here. Come on here, start off the page. Make sure you're not getting any. I'll just add some green there to those bushes, kind of in that corner. Just a hint of green. And I'll turn it around. Come over to this side. There we go. Next, I'm going to get some crumb cake and the sand or the planks on the decking and crumb cake. We'll rub that off. You can see it's a good thing we rubbed that off. We were fortunate to be invited by some friends to go to their beach condo last week, and we had a great time at the beach. It was pretty weather. Just rained one day, I think, maybe two. And you know how we were at Daytona. Doesn't usually rain all day like it does here in Chattanooga sometimes. But we had a great time. We got to see a supermoon, and then along with the supermoon was a super tide. It was Jeep week, so there were all kinds of Jeeps for us to all decorated up, parading on the beach. And there was a rocket launch, so we got to catch that early one morning. That was interesting. Now I'm coming back with some Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to add that kind of to the beach chairs in the center. Kind of give a hint of the beach colors. Some brightness there. A little bit on the table. And voila. Isn't that pretty? All those nice bright colors. Now, I used for the crumb cake piece, I used an embossing folder. On this one, I used the Old World embossing folder. It goes along with the Beautiful World set, and it will be retiring soon also. But I thought for today's card, I would use the embossing folder called Seabed. Here's the Old World embossing folder. And then this one will continue on. So I thought I'd try it and see how that looks today on the card. And you can see a little bit of the design there, I hope. I'm going to emphasize the design a little bit by using some crumb cake and just make those raised images stand out a little more. Give them a little more texture. We're just going to rub along here just to give it a little more. There you go. They're showing up a little bit better. could also do this with some of your craft white. That would make the images show up more with white. The weather was cool enough we could eat outdoors on the Ponce Inlet. We went to several restaurants where you could eat outdoors. That was fun. Pelicans came by and visited. They didn't bother us. They just made the scenery pretty. So anyway, when I came home, I was all about beach things. I do love seashells. I love going to the beach now that we have sunscreen. Of course, when I was younger, they didn't have sunscreen, so you always came home with I never tanned, I always burned, so I'm real excited to have sunscreen now. Right there, so you can see I've touched it up a little along the edges and give it a little more depth. I didn't bother with the middle because that's going to be covered up anyway. All right, so we're going to attach this to the middle. Try to not get my head in the way. There we go. So we've got that down. Now I have a little bit of ribbon. This is from the Playful Pets. And I've cut a piece off. And I'm going to tie, I call it a Girl Scout knot, Boy Scout knot. Left over right, and then right over left. Makes it look a little more nautical, just like that. And I'm going to untwist the strings after I tie the knot, give it a more rugged look. Just pull those apart. This one's kind of already undone. All right, I'm going to trim those off with my snips. Just like that. Now I kind of want this over to the side. Oh, I meant to double it. Let's see if I can double it. I meant to have a double ribbon. See if I can go back and double that. It's a little harder now that I've frayed it. But I think we can do it. There we go. Work that knot up closer to the ends. There we go. Clip that. All right, so we're going to want this. We're going to cut this right about here. And then we can attach it along the top. There we go, and we'll just fray these and twist them pretty quickly. All right, so let's see, how does he want to go? I think he wants to go that way. I'm going to have to work with the ribbon to go the way it wants to go. It's happier that way. All right, so we're going to add some seal along the back to catch that with. And sometimes it's even handy to have a little bit of tape to put across there. I want that bow in the corner, and I'm just going to tuck that around and pull this and tuck it around. Catch it on that. And if you like, you can even add a little tape there. Sometimes I add tape just to make sure it doesn't slip out. There we go. All right. Now we're ready to add it to the card base. The card base is Pool Party. I think the seal will work well on this. Sometimes there's too much texture with the embossing folder, and you have to use a different type of adhesive, but I think the seal is going to work just fine with this. Slip that back under there, and we'll add this to our card base, this Pool Party card base. Just like that. All right. And so this time I thought I'd send my friends a thank you card. So I stamped from this stamp set with gratitude. Oh, no, that's from the Seaside Notions. The Seaside Notion has the with gratitude. So I stamped that. And I'll attach that with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Pop that up. I could probably use the small ones. We'll do it this way and add a small one. Add some of the mini dimensionals in the corners. That'll work. I also used one of the rectangle dies and ran it through my cut and emboss machine to cut out the sentiment. So there you go. I'll add that right there. Quick and easy. I have a thank you card to send to my friends. I will, for the inside, on there. Do the same thing. With my blender brushes, I'm just going to add a little color to that quickly. I have the inside decorated, and I can write a little thank you note. There's some cute little seagulls that come in this set. I can stamp them up in the corner. There are even some palm trees, but I will save those for another card. All Alright, so here we go with the blender brush again. I will just put a little pink over in this corner. Flirty flamingo. Takes longer to open up the ink pads than it does to color it when you use these blending brushes. Just doesn't take any time at all. I'm going to use some crumb cake, of course, for the sand. Come on here. Just give a hint of some sand. And then I'm going to color the chair with some Pool Party. Add a little sky for the birds. Just a little hint there. Now I can write my note. There's still room for a little bit of a personal note. And we'll attach this to the inside. Of course, you can always decorate the envelope too. There's some palm trees. They would be great to stamp on the outside of the envelope. Why not use all these stamps you have? Oh, I wanted to add a little crumb cake background to this. So let's make sure that's the, yeah. I'll just back it with a little more color. I love brown and blue together. And make sure we've got it going the right way. There's a thank you card all ready to go. No time at all. So let's look back and see which embossing folder do you like best. They're both nice. It's hard to decide. It's fun to change up little details like that. Now on this card, I probably won't make the whole card. I did want to show you how the water line, the horizon line here. I took some washi tape. You can get washi tape a lot of times on sale really cheaply. And so I just got some washi tape. Used my grid lines. I laid it down. My grid lines on Stampin' Up paper to help me get that even across. And I used the Pacific Point. And move that card out of the way. And I come in like this, of course, get some of the color off and just start going along the line there. actually want more of this kind of look to it than circles, but can do some circles. So I've masked off that horizon line. We'll get it nice and dark right up here at the line. Then I take the washi tape off. You should see a nice clear line there. Nice clear horizon line. Now I'm just going to use